In every story, the arc changes everything. The rise, the fall, the calm before the storm. Welcome to the Calm Arc, a space where anime isn't just watched, it's felt. Here we dive beneath the surface into the emotions, the artistry, and moments that stay with us long after the credits roll. So take a breath and slow down. This is your pause between episodes, your calm in the chaos of the anime world. I'm your host, Caveman, and welcome to the show. What's up, anime world, anime heads, anime fans? I'm not sure what the correct vernacular is for people that watch anime or are very into anime or, you know what I mean, have a very strong love and passion for anime. I've got to figure that out. I'm going to do some research in a little bit and figure that out. But yeah, welcome to the show. I'm your host, Caveman. I'm here to talk about, guessed it, anime. I'm kind of relatively new into the anime world. I haven't even hit a year yet. So, I just wanted to do this, to kind of like document my journey and, connect with others that also enjoy the artistry, the stories, and, the emotions, and, that captivate audiences, such as like Demon Slayer. It was such a huge movement, and that movie broke records, to being what people considered a cartoon, to break records, it's insane. Or kept up with like the Marvel movies, which is it's out of control. Like, but yeah, so I think I'll start from the beginning to kind of maybe resonate, maybe don't resonate. But I started off with Dragon Ball Z. I think a lot of people, who are younger, I'm 36, so people watch Dragon Ball Z, Pokemon, Digimon, Yu-Gi-Oh, Ninja Turtles. I'm think considered. Ninja Turtles is considered anime, it's more considered cartoons. But Yu-Gi-Oh! I don't know if Pokemon is either, but the other ones I mentioned before, that's where I started with my childhood. And as you get older, for me personally, I didn't really, I'm kind of like I'm old and I'm gonna watch cartoons no more. I do got a daughter, she's 12, so I did get back into the cartoon things, and she was, growing up, and I'm watching, the shows with her, so I think every parent does that, to resonate with their kids. They watch what their kids is watching, and that was basically where I got my start at. It was with Pokemon, Digimon, Yu-Gi-Oh, all of that, and I continued as my daughter got older. She doesn't watch as much. We do. I'm not gonna lie, we watch cartoons, but yeah, we Dragon Ball Z. You know what I mean? That was kind of like my start with it. Where I was kind of like, oh, this shit is lit. Who don't want to be Goku flexing, Super Saiyan 4, flex fuck a Vegeta, everybody, Majin Buu, Cell, Piccolo, those are like the four main villains, which is kind of a little bit, one thing I kind of like, I have a grudge or like annoyance with anime is kind of like, they drag this shit the fuck out, way out, you know what I mean? Like, all the way the fuck out, and Dragon Ball Z, you got 100 episodes, and in that 100 episodes is them trying to kill one person. Like my mans. Fuck all of that. Maybe want to skip 95 episodes and watch the last 5 to where they power up and fuck the nigga up. But yeah, that's where I'm like, it's my little bit of annoyance and grudge with some of the anime is that it's such a build up to the climactic scenes to where it's kind of frustrating, So yeah. Started off with Dragon Ball Z, and then Yu-Gi-Oh, and then like I stopped watching for a while. Then my brother Bugs was telling me about Demon Slayer. He's like, oh, that shit hard as fuck. You gotta check it out. And I'm like, alright, bro. And I was kind of putting it off for a while, and then I got his access to Crunchyroll, and then I jumped on Demon Slayer, and I don't know why I waited so long. But I ran through Demon Slayer maybe like 2 weeks, maybe a month. I give it like a month because I had to work and shit. A month I ran through Demon Slayer, fire. Shit was ham. I'm like, I bet. I don't know why I waited so long, but that shit was dead ass hard as fuck. And then my niece, shout out to Haley, She ended up like putting me on to My Hero Academia. Ran through that in like 2 months. That shit was hard as fuck. I'm like, damn. And I was kind of mad at her too when the shit ended because I had to wait till, October for the new season to drop. And I'm over here saying, well, my thumb's like, damn, now what am I else going to watch? You know what I mean? I was kind of stressed. I'm like, fuck. And shit just hard as fuck, And then like, what else do I watch? And I heard Attack on Titan was pretty cool. So I jumped on that. It took me a while to get through that. Attack on Titan was cool. I wasn't a very big fan of how it ended. It kind of like left me a bit confused and it kind of lacking a little bit more. I think I'm into storytelling. That's kind of like where I like with the animes is the stories and how they tell a story and the scenes, the action that go coincide with it. So yeah, Attack on Titan was pretty cool. I'm like, I bet what else I'm gonna check out. Then my brother Bugs again was telling me Jujutsu Kaisen and Kaiju number 8. So I ran through Jujutsu Kaisen. Shit is hard as fuck. Ran through Jujutsu Kaisen. I'm waiting for the third season and the movie to drop. And then I ran through Jujutsu Kaisen as well. I was kind of watching those simultaneously. And then, I stopped halfway through the second season of Kaiju number 8 because it wasn't complete. So I was kind of waiting for the episodes to drop so I could finish it. And then I heard the season finished. I just haven't called back up on it. And then I heard about the other one, which is Gai Chua, something like that, with the dude with the red glove, with the gloves. And he's a trash picker, and his gloves give him powers, and he's kind of like, actually hard as fuck. Hard as fuck. I'm 13 episodes in. I stopped watching again. I'm waiting for the season to finish. But that show was hard as fuck. Really into it. I heard good things about Chainsaw Man. It looks a little weird for me, kind of a thing. You know what I mean? It kind of reminds me a little bit of Jujutsu Kaisen in the sense of that the person has a demon inside of him, and in order for them to fight, he has to let the spirit out. But yeah, and then I started watching also Spy Family with my daughter. She's a huge Anya fan, and I resonating. Anya's really cute. It's funny some of the things she says. Her dad is a spy. Her mom's an assassin, and she's a telepath, and she's kind of stuck. You know what I mean? And some of the things she says is very funny. So I like that Spy Family as well. But yeah, I think those are and the ones I've watched. I also watched Hunter x Hunter, which before I even knew what Hunter x Hunter was. That anime, I didn't even know that was considered an anime either, but that shit was hard as fuck. Ran through that whole thing. I think I've watched it twice already. I'm like, I think this supposed said they're gonna do a reboot or add another season. I'm not 100% sure. My niece was telling me about it, but that shit was hard as fuck. And then the big one, the big gusto, One Piece. One Piece is hard as shit, hard as fuck. I don't want to say I ran through it, but like I'm on season 7 right now, and I want to say in 1 month I ran through 5 seasons, and like I also had an injury and I had surgery, so I had some time on my hands. So while I'm sitting there recovering, getting myself back to 100%, I started watching one. I was watching it in September. I had the surgery in October, and so like from September all the way till October, I think I got through maybe the first season, and then from October I watched the second, third. I watched 5 seasons. I'm on season 7 now, so I watched 5 seasons in 1 month, which is kind of crazy if you think about because of the amount of episodes. I think I'm somewhere like 600 and something episodes in. The amount of episodes is crazy, and it's kind of giving me a little bit of reminiscence of Dragon Ball Z with the way they drag it out. And the filler episodes, which I understand you have to have those in there to be able to help progress the story. And sometimes, not everything is needed. Like in the last season, season 6, spoiler alert, if you guys haven't watched One Piece, I'm going to definitely throw some spoilers in there. So if you guys haven't watched it yet, I don't know if you guys want to fast forward or, check out right now, but some spoilers for One Piece coming up. Last season, season 6, they had when Luffy was over at the Marine base and was fighting. Then even when the whole crew split up, they weren't together. They had like 2 or 3 episodes of like some weird shit where they were in the woods and Luffy teamed up with this weird guy. I don't remember the dude's name. I skipped that. I skipped like 3 or 4. Whatever I saw the episode was in, I'm skipping it. And then even when there was like when they were in Skypiea, they had like some weird episodes of like them in this village, and Sanji owned the restaurant and Luffy was the waitress and Luffy was like the I don't know what the fuck he was. But I'm like I skipped those two. I'm not watching it. If it has nothing to do with the storyline, I'm not gonna watch it. You know, that's just my take on it. But yeah, I'm really loving One Piece. Like I said, it's giving me a little bit of the reminiscence with Dragon Ball Z because it drags the story out a little bit too much. And like case in point was the fight with Luffy had trying to get Ace back. And like I just felt like there was 12 episodes of Luffy charging the fucking Ace, and it took him 13 episodes, 15 episodes just to make it there, you know. And it was I understand that you have to like you're telling the story from different angles. So you know you got Jinbei, you got Whitebeard, you got Ace, you got Whitebeard's crew, you know what I mean, and you got the Marine Admirals, you know, and I can understand, you know what I mean. But I just felt like I'm not here for number size Luffy. If we're not talking about Luffy, we ain't talking about nothing. You know, that's where I'm at. You know, so yeah, I kind of like I liked the I like the storytelling and where it went, the progression, the story, and all of that. And I kind of just feel like I'm digging One Piece. I like the story. Like I said, I'm in season 7. And one thing that I really like about Luffy and I resonate with a lot is that like he's such a he has such a big heart. He cares for his friends. He cares for his crewmates. He cares for people as well. Like he wants a genuine well-being of people. You know what I mean? He wants everybody to be happy, to live life. Yeah, he's a pirate, but he's not your average pirate where they're here for gold, to plunder or take over. Nah, he wants to be king of the pirates. He wants to live free. He wants to have his own and just do his own and just be Luffy, eat meat and just chill. Pause. That was wild gay. Pause. But yeah. I like the story. And I feel like Zoro as well. I'm fucking with Zoro as well. Zoro's story of trying to like accomplish his goal of being the number one swordsman. And it's kind of I don't know if Hawkeye trained him and like they had that 2-year hiatus where they were gone and they ended up linking back up in Sabaody. And I don't know if Hawkeye trained them or what, bro, but my man became I mean he lost an eye, which whatever, you know. I think that shit is dope, you know. Both their stories and how they, you know what I mean, they connected and stuff like that. Who I think my favorite character, I think it's a toss up right now between Luffy and Zoro. You know, sometimes I feel Zoro, sometimes I feel Luffy. You know, I think those two are definitely some kick ass people, and they definitely go ham and they go blood. But yeah, who's your favorite character? Who do you guys resonate with? You know what I mean? What's something you like from the show? Something that you guys stuck with? One thing that kind of hit me in the heart was when Ace died. Like I said, spoiler alert. All right, spoiler all the way alert. Ace dies. Ace died, and that shit took me all the way out. I'm talking about I was in a room. I'm here before work. I got a split shift. I'm in between my shifts, and I'm like, no, not Ace. Ah! Kind of feel like a villain. I was ready to flex. Like, I'm about to fuck this nigga up. You know what I mean? I can't do much. I ain't even in the show. Shit not even real, but that shit had me feeling that shit like right here. I was like, no! Ah! Gripping my chest, you know what I mean? Shit was crazy, you know? So, and I think that's kind of like, you know, what I was saying, you know, the moments that stay with us. You know, I watched Ace die like 2 weeks ago, and I'm still like, kind of like, what the fuck, bro? There's no way that really happened. But, you know, it did. It fucking did, you know, and it's crazy. You know, what's the moment that stuck with you guys from one of the shows you guys watch? It doesn't have to necessarily be One Piece, you know, but, you know, what's something that you guys watched that, you know, resonated with you and kind of hit you in the, you know, the heart and made you feel a type of way? You know, that's where I'm at right now. That's why I kind of like anime, because the storyline, it draws you in, and some of the characters you could resonate with, you know what I mean? And, you know, wanting to be free. Luffy wanted to be free, you know, be king of the pirates and, you know, just live life on your own terms, you know. And that's kind of what I get from when I watch Luffy, you know, him living life on his own terms, him being free, you know, going through adventures and like going through adventures and just enjoying himself, like having a whole bunch of fun. And that's that's I think that's kind of like what the essence of life kind of is, right? You want to be free, you know, you want to go on your adventures, you want to live life on your own terms. You want to go out on your own terms. You're not afraid of death. But also necessarily, you're not you don't want to die. So it's pretty what's the word I'm looking for? Inspiring. It's pretty inspiring, and that's something I enjoy from watching One Piece. I've been very inspired, and the training that goes into it. I'm fat as fuck, but it kind of it inspires me as well, because if I want to be able to, not say I want to be a pirate or be the best swordsman, or you know what I mean, be in shape, live life on my terms, and be, inspire and motivate others, not with necessarily what I say, but they could look at me and be like, well, he was like that and he did that. You know what I mean? It could be inspiring. Everybody could be inspiring. Everybody has a story and everybody can tell a story and everybody's story is unique to themselves. And I feel like there's always something in somebody's story that helps, that helps inspire somebody, So, yeah, I know I've talked a lot right now, but, what's something that you feel like you're inspired to do, something you want to do, or something that an anime character inspired you to do, or moved you, so yeah, just take the time, think about that, and leave it in the comments below, so talk for a while. I'm not really sure. I have some topic pieces, you know what I mean, like what's your favorite character, you know what I mean, who do you resonate with, what's some of the anime story, character, or show inspired you or moved you to do? Did anything inspire and move you? Did anything bring you to tears? Where you, at a lot of these animes, I catch myself laughing really hard, at some of the things that Sanji and Zoro end up, how they beefing and all of that, and even Brook be having me crying. I mean, he'd be like, "Can you show me your bunties?" I'll be waiting for it because I know what's coming. When he be like, "Oh yeah," or like when he did the when they got separated from Sabaody, and then he ended up in this fucking place, this village or whatever, and they were all praying to Satan, and he ends up landing there, and they're like, "Oh, all hail Satan," and he's standing there all fucking because he's skull and bones. He's not like, he's a skeleton. It's not like he actually has skin or any organs or anything like that. He's a fucking skeleton, and they're like, "Oh." He's like, well, what's going to help you? What's going to make you feel help or help us, inclined to help us? He's like, well, show me your panties. And I just, I knew this shit was coming, but that shit still took me out. And then even when he linked back up with the crew and they, oh my God, you guys look so good. And he's always talking to Nami. And he like, yo, oh my God, you look so good. And he was like, yo, like, they were like basically engaging in conversation back and forth. And he somehow finds a way to slip it in. Can you show me your panties? It should be having me crying. But yeah, what are some of your favorite characters, some of your character moments that you guys enjoy from some of the shows you guys are watching? I find like the little things, because once you guys get to know the characters and engage with them, it's kind of like you're building a rapport in a sense, and we kind of fan out, and I'm fanning out right now with One Piece, 100%. But I think I'm going to cut it there, guys. I hope you guys have a great day. It's your boy Caveman checking out. Holla at y'all. Check out on the next episode.